Hey everyone, we are so glad and so grateful that so many folks have taken this course and found it so useful and have shared with us what has worked well and what hasn't. So we want to pass those learnings on to you now.
There's so many different options for how to run this course, which is great. It can be run as an adult religious education course or
Right.
as a small group ministry program that works really well. It can be engaged with by different groups within the congregation simultaneously or over time. So it's really all about finding a way to run this course that works well in your context. Some
Mhm.
congregations watch the lectures together and then discuss them. Others have folks watch the lectures on their own and then gather for discussion. And you can do one session per week, one session every other week, one session per month. It really is all about how it will work best in your context with your congregation's calendar. Some folks meet 6 times because there's 6 sessions. That makes a lot of sense. Some meet 3 times because the first 2 sessions, the second 2 sessions, and the last 2 sessions pair really well together.
Yes, they
And
really do.
some meet up once before watching the first lecture and or once after watching the final lecture. So there's options there too. Our evaluations have shown that it works best when there's 6 to 8 discussions. And we really particularly recommend planning an extra session at the end if you can, because we introduce a lot of content in session 6. And it really helps to have an extra discussion planned at the conclusion of the course where everyone taking it can start applying the learnings and create an action plan together.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for all that, Alex. The most important thing is making time for group discussion. Processing the lectures and discussing the prompts we provide for each session is really an essential part of this course. We strongly recommend setting aside at least an hour for conversation per session, in addition to watching the lectures if you're watching them together. The most common feedback we've heard is that people wanted more time for discussion. You have no idea how much can and will likely come up as people are really digging into what we're talking about and really sharing, and the more sharing folks are doing, the more vulnerable people become, and the more folks are really learning and want to talk more. So
Yes.
really reserving that time is super important. Also, if you have a large group of people taking the course together, we recommend making time for both small group and large group discussion. Small groups of 4 or 5 people give participants the airtime that they need, right, to personally process the course content with others, and having that large group sort of talk back gives folks an opportunity who were in the small groups to really learn from one another. So definitely make time for both small group and large group discussion if you have a large group of people.
In some congregations, the staff or the board or a particular team or committee goes through the course first before rolling it out to a wider swath of people in the congregation, which is a really cool idea. And in other congregations, different groups within the congregation engage with the course at different times, which works really
Mm,
well too. It can
right.
be really incredibly meaningful for staff in particular to process the course together or other leaders to process the course together. A number of congregations have also partnered up with each other to run this course together,
Hmm.
either in like a team of 2 congregations or a cluster of congregations, which we're really excited about when that happens, or have even partnered with a local congregation of a different denomination, which is another really wonderful way that congregations have chosen to engage with this course. If you're interested in extending the invitation to take this course beyond your own congregation, please get in touch with us first to talk about that. Keep in mind that the course is designed for groups from congregations, not public screenings. Some congregations have wanted to do public screenings and
Right.
extend the invitation out to the local community, and
Hmm.
that can work, but we'd love to chat with you first about how to do that well.
Yep, absolutely. And finally, please don't pick and choose which lectures to use or screen only parts of the course without talking to us first. We put a lot of time and intention into the content in this course, and everything in it serves a valuable purpose. And also, one piece of material will help you as you're moving through next pieces of the material. So, unless Again, you want to touch base with us first because you have some specific ideas about how you want to make that work.
We want to offer some specific guidance to facilitators of this
Yep.
course in congregations. We really designed this course to be taken by groups of people in congregations, and we love the fact that so many congregations have been doing that in many
Hmm.
different ways. We've gotten a lot of wonderful feedback that we'd love to pass on to other folks who are planning out how to best help their congregation engage in this course. So we want to let you know that it's a really good idea to have at least two facilitators, and for the
Okay.
facilitators to go through the material first on their own before facilitating a group taking the course.
Hmm.
It's also a really important practice to check in with each other as facilitators before and after each session while you're facilitating the course. Get to know each other better, figure out how to support each other, talk about
Yes.
things that are coming up in the course. Maybe after a particular discussion, see if there were things that you could have done differently or things that need to be addressed at the next discussion.
Thanks for sharing that, Alex. Yeah, I mean, so much of what this course offers is around relationship and around building relationship, and the facilitators should definitely be doing that as part of your own learning in the course and as a way to really help others to model that for other people
Yes.
who are also taking the course. So thank you for that, Alex.
Also, please, please, please make the resources, the supplemental resources for each session available to participants, not just the lectures. They are an essential part of the course. So find a way to send those to participants and really encourage people to engage with them. They can be engaged with before or after the given lecture.
We also wanted to share a little bit with facilitators about your role in this course. Good facilitation skills are way more important than being a quote unquote expert on trans people, right? During the first discussion, either as part of session one or in an added pre-course session, create space for group members to get to know one another and offer community agreements for participants to practice. Help ensure that group members stay accountable to the values of the congregation during each discussion. Another thing to think about is, think about what it means for you as a facilitator to be prepared to interrupt and or redirect participants who make comments that could be hurtful or harmful to trans people and our family members. Those facilitation skills are going to go a long way because, as I said earlier, a lot is going to come up in these discussions. Folks are going to have questions. Folks are going to get to know themselves a little bit better. At least that's our hope. And if that's happening, being able to hold that space well for all of the people who are taking the course is going to ensure that folks actually get out of the course what they need. So we're really encouraging facilitators to be mindful of their skills as facilitators, not necessarily what you think you do or don't already know about trans folks and our lived experiences.
Absolutely. It's really important to remember that your role as a facilitator is to facilitate and hold the space, not have all the answers to all the questions that might possibly come up in those
That's right.
group discussions.
That's right.
It's actually really helpful to model that we don't have all the answers all the
Hmm.
time, and it's helpful to model practicing kindness and grace toward ourselves and each other as we learn and
Absolutely.
grow, as well as being mindful of the impact of ignorance and unskillfulness on trans people and our
Yeah.
families.
Yeah. Yeah. We also wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about what it means to have trans and non binary folks in the congregation at the time that you're taking the course. Definitely check in with any known trans and non binary people in the congregation. Let them know that this course is happening and ask them if they'd like to be involved in any particular way. This may or may not be a course that trans folks or non binary folks in your congregation would want to participate in and be a part of. All the folks in the congregation are making decisions for themselves about their level of participation in a course like this, and that is absolutely true for trans and non-binary folks as well. Be aware that there might be pastoral care needs for participants, particularly for trans and non-binary folks and our family members. We highly recommend making sure that pastoral care options are available and communicated to everyone taking the course so people know what their options are going in. If folks know that there is a container to hold all of the things that may arise as a result of taking the course, it makes it way more likely that people will feel good about taking the course. So definitely make sure everyone knows what those options are. If there are any trans or non-binary participants in the course, check in with them throughout it, right? Make space for them to share about their own experiences in the congregation and for them to name any tweaky or harmful moments, any ouch moments that happen in group discussions during the course, if they want to, but don't put them in the spot non-consensually, right? It really makes sense that you're checking in with folks individually to get a sense of what their needs are before making assumptions. Please don't make assumptions about what trans and non-binary folks need in those moments. Check in and respond accordingly.
Yeah, and one thing that can really stand you in good stead, in addition to everything that Mykal just shared, is that you should always assume that there are trans or non-binary or questioning folks in
That's
the
right.
course and in your congregation.
That's
If
right.
you don't know of anyone, that doesn't mean that there aren't folks.
That's right.
One of the things that we hope folks will understand through taking this course is that you can't actually make assumptions about these sorts of things. And many trans people have no interest in being capital T trans, and
Right. Right.
really public and open about being trans.
Hmm.
Lots of people just want to live their lives as women or men or even as agender, non-binary, genderqueer people without people knowing their medical history or the intimate details of how they think about themselves.
Hmm.
So it's important to keep all of that in mind and just always act as if there are
That's right.
trans and non-binary people and our family members
Hmm.
in the room. Also, keep in mind that we're here to support you. You're going to be, engaging with us in these videos that are pre-recorded, getting to know us, but we're also still here. We're still very excited to hear from you as you're going through the course.
Hmm.
Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you're struggling with anything, if issues come up, if you have questions, if there's a situation in your congregation that feels difficult to navigate and you want some
Hmm.
help doing that. We have invested in you when
That's
you have
right.
invested in us through taking this course. And we want to be there to help you and be in relationship with you in an ongoing way. So please don't hesitate. We'd love to hear from you. Another thing to know is that if you want a list of people from your congregation that have used the coupon code from your congregation and have signed into Teachable, into our online course platform from your congregation, we can provide that to you at any time. Just reach
Yeah.
out, send us an email, and we can shoot you a list of folks and their email addresses.
Hmm. Yeah, we're definitely here for y'all. We want to make sure that this is a beautiful experience for everyone involved. So if there's anything we can do to be of assistance as that is happening, don't hesitate to check in with us and let us know. I'm going to say a few things about accessibility and tech considerations because that's really important. It's good to be aware that the audio quality isn't the best in all of the lectures. We did our best with the technology we had at the time, and we actually re-recorded session 6 to improve the content and the quality of the recording. There are closed captions and transcripts available for all of the lectures, and we strongly encourage you to make use of those if that's helpful to you. If you're screening the videos for a group, we'd encourage you to turn on the closed captions, even if you don't know if anyone in the group needs them. Those kinds of opportunities are not often made available, and so folks often won't ask
Hmm.
because the presumption is that they're not available, but they are. And so we're really encouraging you to turn on the closed captions. Also, let people know that transcripts are available as well. You might want to print out a few copies for in-person screenings or send participants the transcript in advance of each session along with that session's resources for virtual screenings. It's really helpful for some people to follow along with the transcript while watching the lectures. So definitely let people know that that's available to them.
Also, it's important to keep in mind that the lectures themselves are hosted online through our
Right.
platform. So if you're screening the videos for a group and you don't have a very fast internet connection, it might improve things for you to have a downloaded file of each lecture. Now,
Yes.
video downloading isn't possible through our Teachable online platform for copyright reasons, but if you need those files, we can send them to you manually.
Mm-hmm.
So just email us and we will get them to you. And that also goes for anyone in your congregation who doesn't have consistent or fast internet access
Yeah,
individually. If your folks are engaging with the lectures on their own and someone would benefit from having those downloaded files, we would be happy to send them the files in whatever way works best for them. So please
right.
keep that in mind.
A word or two about permissions. If you've purchased the course, you've purchased a license to use and share the content within your congregation for the lifetime of the course. But you may not share it with anyone outside of your congregation without permission. Also, you may not adapt the course without permission for the reasons that we've talked about before, that it really matters that folks are engaging the course as it has been developed and created. But if you want to use excerpts of it or add to the course in particular ways, reach out to us first and check in so we can get a sense of what you're interested in doing, and we can help you figure out the best ways to do that so that you don't lose the most valuable aspects of the course in what you're trying to accomplish.
Totally. Also, in terms of the supplemental resources for each session, we've gotten a lot of questions about what's okay to share and what's not. So we want to let you know that you're very welcome to share the resources that are not written or hosted by us as widely as you'd like, such as the articles and video clips that we link to. Other
That's right.
people made those, they put them online, they made them available, and we're just lifting them up. And so you're welcome to lift them up and share them widely as well.
Hmm.
But please don't share any of the resources that were created by us or are hosted on our website outside your congregation without our permission. Same thing, if you're really excited about something and you want to share it widely, just get in touch
Yeah.
and ask us first.
If you had not figured this out already, let me just make it real plain. It really matters to us that you are in relationship with us beyond this course, as part of your watching and learning in this course and beyond this course. We prioritize working with congregations that we are in relationship with and who have made a real commitment to transformation and to culture shift. Remember to be mindful of what the course invites you to do and be beyond the taking of it, and not to feel afraid to follow up with us at any point, even 6 months or a year later. The hope is that this course is a beginning. It's a new beginning for ways to think about welcome, to understand culture, to understand what culture shift and transformation looks like and feels like, and how those things can be made manifest in the life of the congregation. And you're not necessarily going to understand all of that the day after you take the course. So definitely be in touch with us. We want to know how things are going, and we want to be able to help bring the course to life even beyond the taking of it.
Yes. We also really love offering follow up workshops to congregations after you've engaged with the course to build
That's right.
on the learnings in the course and
Hmm.
extend them to a larger group within the congregation. So if that sounds
Yeah,
interesting to you, please get in touch and we can chat about how to make that happen.
absolutely. We know we've shared a lot of information with you. We care about you. We're excited that you're taking this course. And we look forward to what comes of it for you and for Unitarian Universalism more broadly. So thanks so much for watching our video.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.